You got to sit there and ask yourself, okay, what am I truly passionate about? What do I enjoy doing? And when you feel that way, honestly, you feel like you have never worked a day in your life. It's the most fun thing in the world. You get up in the morning excited about what you're doing. And you got to be really honest with yourself about it. If you wake up in the morning and you're dreading going to work, dude, do something else. Right. Do something else. And those are hard decisions to make. But when you make those decisions, it's a very liberating experience. And you find out that the rewards will come.
One, two, 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8, 9, 10.
There we go,
There we
everybody. Good evening. Hope everybody had themselves a wonderful day. I am in such a great mood. I'm in such a happy mood today. I gotta look this way because I forgot to turn the camera. We so happy because one, we got our guest, not guest. What the heck am I talking about?
Hey, he tripping. He drunk. That's why he feel good.
Yep.
He called you a guest.
I called what's the name? I got a host back.
That's right.
We're so happy for her. We're happier she's been here. We've been holding it down, but we're so happy to have her back. More importantly, we're happy that she's feeling good and she's doing good. And we appreciate all y'all prayers and your positive energy y'all kept bringing forth every time. So we thank you so much. Happy to have Ms. Hills back. Of course, we got Mr. Reese. We got Mr. Johnson. And welcome to Unfiltered, episode 7. Time go by so quick. And what I love about the number 7, biblical numerology, 7 means completion. So I'm going to go ahead and let them introduce themselves, and we're going to get right into a little small talk. Then we're going to go right into our topics. So, of course, ladies first. Incredible lady first. Go ahead.
Yes, I am back. Guess who's back? It's me. I'm back, guys. I'm doing well. Thank you for all of your prayers, and I'm ready to continue to hold it down for us ladies. Back in there.
This your boy, Mac Daddy. Mac Daddy, 1/3 of Unfiltered. I had to change it. Chris asked if I could change it, so I changed that bad boy. First off, Fifi, glad to have you back. Yes. I'm glad you're in good spirits. Glad you're in good health. Like I said, we're going to continue to pray for you.
Yes, please.
So everybody continue to like, share, subscribe, and let's get down to these topics.
Okay. I want to get one little thing out the way, just a little small talk right quick for everybody. Again, if you are here, go ahead. Don't be stingy with the information. Share it out. Get it out there. So, of course, like, subscribe, share. And I say share twice because we need to get this out there to everybody that's watching on Facebook or, Meta, and to all of our incoming fans that's on YouTube. We're so grateful for you. So, again, like, subscribe, share, and let's get this out there. I want to talk about something today because I want to get it off my chest real quick before we get into the major topics. Everybody that's familiar with the case of Kim Porter, the officer that shot the young man, black man. It's sad because you get kind of tired of talking about this. Every single person who has said it and just seen the despicable thing that happened today, that's going to happen and look like it's going to happen. It's just, you get to the point where you're like, you know what? I'm tired. This is ridiculous. Like, let's be for real. Kim Porter, the officer, just in case for people that didn't know, she shot I believe it was 20-year-old young man. She stated that she mistakenly thought it was a taser. And even in the art, because she had her body cam on, everything's on camera. Every single action's on camera. She yells, taser, taser, taser. And she actually has her sidearm, not the taser in her hand, and shoots him, and even says, "Oh my God, I think I shot him." Young man down the road, pulled over and ended up dying. But what's so messed up is that it's an admission of guilt because she gets on the stand crying, saying, "I did it." Then you got the body cam footage that shows that she did it. The jury still is at odds on whether she's guilty. Now you just get kind of tired.
Yep.
You get kind of tired about this. It's unbelievable to me that I don't understand. I think this country doesn't know right now that they're standing on, forget eggshells, they're standing on a tightrope of what could potentially be the next civil war. God forbid. We are standing on the cusp of this, and not just with this is just is incredible because it's just to the point where you're like, my God, what else you got to show for them to get justice? This is not about the time. The time may be how you could say considered in regards to how much time she get, but there's no debate that she's guilty. Fifi, what I mean right off the bat, because I hear you over there, and I know you here about it. Dan, Fifi, tell us a little bit about it and what you think about your feelings, and then Mac, you go ahead too, because I see the stern look on his face. When y'all quiet, I know it's something that is rolling around in y'all heads, and I didn't really got so much to say about it because I'm just tired. I'm tired because it don't seem like we're never. It seems like dead or alive, black males or even just black lives just will not get peace. They will not allow us to have any peace, any justice, and whatsoever. So you go ahead.
Yeah, I'm the same. I don't have a lot to say, but I agree with you 100%. It's like a broken record. It's like, what are we looking at right now? What is really happening? So my opinion and my thoughts and my unfiltered, unapologetic opinion is that this is the time where white people are beyond pushing the envelope, beyond at the edge. They're just like, I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to get my people behind me, and we going to keep showing you better than we can tell you that we run this. That's the position that they're trying to take. That's the position that they're constantly showing. It doesn't matter about our system. Number one, our systems are broken. Point blank, period. That's the main thing I have to say. Systems are broken. I don't care what kind of government system it is that's set up. They're all broken. And the issue is nobody is going to take the time to restructure, redevelop, re-put things in place, assess, because everything is divided. Democrat, Republican. Yes, we have other ones, but they don't even count the liberals and anybody. It's just we're in a divided time right now. And white people are just like, look, I don't care if you see me do it. You got it on video camera. I even admitted it. So I'm still gonna walk because I'm gonna play the victim. I'm gonna cry. I was scared for my life. I didn't know what happened. I'm just too emotional. When I watched her answer those questions, it was very interesting how when you got questioned from one end, oh, I just can't remember nothing. Oh, I don't remember. Did I say that? Oh, it's written down, so I said that, I guess. I don't know. But then all of a sudden you get questions from the other side, and now you're starting to remember stuff. And then just like Kyle Rittenhouse, you got this tear game. First off, I ain't trying to be funny and petty, but why was she dressed like that? She looked like she had on her grandma from 1912 outfit. And I was confused, like, why you even dress like that, ma'am? You don't dress like that. Right. I ain't got to see 1,000 pictures of you and see how you dress. All of those things play to the emotions of the jury. The first thing they did was try to tear down that video instead of making it work against her, because she admitted that she did it. You can see that she did it. You can even hear her partner on there trying to justify her. And, oh, yeah, you see how he was trying to get away and do crazy stuff to me? You good for this. Like, let me get your gun. Let me give you my gun. All this craziness. The point is all to play on the emotions. It's okay because they're white. They have privilege. They didn't really mean to do this. They have entitlement. Let's help them. It's going to be okay. They really didn't mean it. They had good intentions. They just didn't know. But they don't have that same position when it comes to African Americans, black people, young men, old men, women. It don't matter. To us, we automatically guilty. They don't ask questions. They don't give us that same energy. We wouldn't even be able to go on trial because we dead already. They killed us.
Right.
That's the issue. It's like, when is it going to stop? It's not. It's only going to get worse. We're everybody upset and feel like, oh, we tired right now. It's only going to get worse. This is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the beginning. That's all I gotta say. Crazy.
I didn't have a lot to say at first, because, like I said, like it's not even like a tired. Like before it got brought back up, I don't want to say forgot about it, but it was in the back of my mind because it's like, all right, hey, we got the admission of guilt, we got the camera footage, like, and also her ethics and policies things she's supposed to do and abide by, and she didn't. It's already out there. I'm thinking, all right, it's open to shut. And for it to still even be a debate for this woman to even be acquitted of these charges, it just makes me understand why people hate this country, or I don't want to say hate, but don't love this country. We're expected to, regardless of the outcomes or the fairness that's awarded to people of color and people who are not of color. And I don't want to say like I'm tired or shocking, but the thing is don't be surprised at the reactions. And that's on both parties. Like, I'm as upset as I am, it should be, like I'm it's not surprising. So, and then Randy alluded to something earlier that I hope, like I said, never happened, but it looks like it will happen, like Civil War, like things like this, is what divide this country. Like we have laws for a purpose. We have the police in position for a purpose. We have policies on things here for a purpose, but yet, like, it shows time and time again that it's abused and that it's only for certain people. And that's why like a lot of people get upset when people don't say, oh, I love America first, wave your American flag and everything. Like, people ain't like that, because it's like, bro, like, yeah, I love this country because I live in this country, but like, if the same opportunities that works for you doesn't work for me, then like, what makes me American? What makes me American? Like, if you do something wrong, you have a right to a fair jury, just like I do. You have a right to serve jail time like I do, and it doesn't work both ways. Even just something simple like it's just certain stuff like the body cam. The body cam, like, we get, is used to protect the officers, but it's also used to go ahead and protect the people that they're protecting. And what the camera shows is that this woman shot the guy using the wrong firearm. Like you said, she clearly said taser, shot with the firearm. And I think up until that time, she really thought, like, damn, I really don't want to go to jail. Like, it's and we talk about, and this is almost one of the things on our show, is accountability. Like, all right, so it's really time to take accountability. People don't want to do it. So when she's like, oh, wow, I'm going to go to jail for murder or manslaughter, it's like, all right, I'm going to change it up, because she knows she was wrong. She knew it. Yep. She knows she killed the guy. But, like, when it came down to it, people don't want to face accountability. I mean, hell, who want to go to jail? But yet, like, I feel like when you're in a certain power and certain position, you have to take that accountability, or else everything equals to chaos, which equals to stuff like Civil War or wherever we're going to allude to. But like I said, just for me to cap it off, I'm definitely not surprised, definitely disappointed, but like I said, hey, there's nothing for me to say. Like, I'm more upset that it got brought back up. It got brought back up. Like I said, if you were to ask me maybe a couple weeks ago about the situation, I'd have thought she was already tried and arrested. But now to hear that she might not be found guilty, I really got it. Is
you got no, yeah. It's I feel, and it's like kind of where we circling to that. And what the biggest thing is that now United States has been put on, well, it's been an issue for a long time with the criminal system. But I like what you said, Fifi, because, and that's what we're getting into tonight too. And we might as well roll right into that with this. But it's rolling, it's showing that every system, not just the criminal system, not just you know what I'm saying, where it comes to money, but it shows the financial system. It shows the educational system.
Mhm.
It shows that everything, every system has been a total fraud. It's flawed. Not just a fraud, but it's flawed completely.
Yep.
And it's almost to the point where it's a smack in the face, because it's almost like they're saying that we know it's flawed. What you gonna do about it?
Absolutely.
And it's that crazy. And I'm gonna give you this example before we move on right into our next one. In this past, I think just a couple of days ago, a truck driver. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
Was it in Denver? I think it's in Colorado, Denver.
It was in Colorado.
And he said his brakes. And now I want y'all to listen to this. His brakes malfunctioned on his truck.
Yep.
And he had to be going the semi truck. It had to be, I think it was like they said, estimated 80, almost 90 miles an hour.
Mm.
Had a huge pile-up accident, killed 4 people, and they gave him 110 years. 110 years. I was like, was he drunk? He wasn't drunk. He wasn't anything. And it's like they said, well, he could have did something else to prevent the roads. I'm like, oh, very interesting. Hypocritical laws of the United States of America. He could have did something different, huh?
Oh, wow.
Is it simply because he's of Middle Eastern descent?
Yeah.
And he's not the complexion for the protection? He could have went on the ramp and drove that bad boy in there, flipped it over, and did some evil Knievel. But this white cop who made a mistake, it's debatable. I can't say nothing about that part, but you did it. And as we have said over and over again, me and Mr. Reese, that sometimes sorry won't cut it. Sorry not bringing that young man's life back. And the punishment, we're not saying nothing about the jail time. We're saying the fact that she might not get no punishment for it. How y'all cannot say she's guilty, and that's what we're arguing about. You say this man is guilty. 4 lives got lost because the brakes on his truck went out. And he could
not control.
And he could not control it. But yet, a woman who has been trained, I believe, over 25 years as a police officer. They kept 25 years.
I didn't know that.
You can't tell the difference between the taser and a pistol. Trust me, I can. And my other part is that when you pulled it out in front of you and you said taser, and you realized it didn't have that yellow rubber section over it, and you shot him, and then we got them cohorting together to try to collaborate. Thank you. Good boy. I said cohort. Collaborating together to try to make up a story. This is the law.
And you said on the cam.
My goodness. Don't worry. We'll put this gun here. We'll slip some coke in this car. Oops. Oh, you got that body cam on? This is what is just disgusting. So, I mean, I want to get, I know we got some feelings about that, and that's where we hit on that. Please go ahead and comment about it. But we're about to get into this other thing, and what we talked about last week. We hit a little bit on last week. And what we were talking about was the fact that good old Joe Biden and the Democratic Party, I keep telling y'all going to learn to listen to me about this. They say whatever they want us. I'm telling you, politicians sell dreams. This is all they do. This is their job. Let me sell you a dream when it's time for the election, because we're just trying to get in. He sold this big dream to so many young people. And I mean, when I say young people, I'm talking about those about to go to college, those who have currently in college, and those who have graduated and have this little thing they got to pay back called student loans. Mm-hmm. You hammered this promise. This is one of your biggest promises. Student loan relief. And now we come to find out that start February, y'all got to start paying them bad boys back. Yeah. And it ain't no relief. And then when we ask your Secretary of Education, he tell us another lie. Oh, we're still trying to do it. Found out this coming back. No, you're not trying to do it. Mm-mm. You're not trying to do it. You lied. That's the word. You didn't misremember details. You lied. So with all this being said, and not getting on this, I said on one of my Facebook posts on my personal page or Meta page, I said that Democrats have severely damaged their chances at ever having control of the House, the Senate, and maybe ever getting another president back in office that's a Democrat. Not unless the Republicans totally screw it up now. Because to this point, they have totally just misled kids who already didn't believe in the justice. I mean, already didn't believe in the government system. They didn't really want to vote in the first place. Like, it's a waste of time to vote. Now, one thing I can say, it isn't a waste of time to vote because we already saw what the power of voting can do. Because if the power of voting got this man elected and had the most votes in history. So we know the power of voting. But now, will they ever vote for another Democrat again? I said, I guesstimated, and I put a very strong, I said about 20 years, the Democrats are going to pay the penalty for this lie. It's going to be about 20 years they pay for it. So, in all that being totaled up, this is our question we got for today, okay? Listen to this. Politics and governmental trust. Is it officially gone? Have the citizens of this country officially said, I am done with trusting in any systems in the world? Because it's going by everything, whether it's COVID. People want to know why people didn't trust COVID no more. It ain't got nothing to do with talking about no microchips or the belief. It's because they don't trust the government. It leads right down to it. We don't trust you. What do y'all think? I don't know which one of y'all want to go first in this.
Let me go ahead and go first real quick on this. Let me go first on this real quick.
Go ahead, Mr.
Just a few hours ago, I got breaking news actually about the student loans. Mm-hmm. They have actually extended it till May 1st, right? So, hey, is it a good thing? It is. It is. Like, okay, we get a few more months to kind of gather back. But to answer your question, along with the news I got, I still lost faith in the system. I definitely have. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, hey, you extended it, which is fine, but the things that you offered to do to help the people is not happening. It's already being known, and now you're telling me that, hey, all right, we're going to cancel student debt. We're going to give you this and give you that. This is for the pandemic. Is it coming from the Democratic Party? Is it coming from Joe Biden? Now it says Joe Biden extended it. All right, cool. But would this have been something already been done if it was Trump in office? I feel like it would have been. Let's separate the COVID matters from the political matters. This is a COVID matter. I feel like with pushing back the student payments. Now, with this happening, do you get some people like, well, hey, they're trying, or look, this is being put in place, so let's go ahead and give the people more faith. Let's say, all right, well, let's win them back. Give them 5 more months to extend the student loan debt. So maybe not. But me personally, yeah, you bought me a few more months, but it still doesn't help. Like, it still doesn't help me believe in your system. Like I said, for somebody to just not start knowing now about politics, and somebody, just get into like, the nitty-gritty of the government, like, no, you're not gonna win me over, because this is what I remember. Like, hey, like, stuff changes, like after you're 35 or 40ish, governments change, things happen to where stuff is going to change. You can't really help that. But if I'm a 18 to 25-year-old and I remember, hey, well, Biden said he's going to cancel student loans, I'm going to vote for him, regardless of what I believe or what party faith I grew up in. And then they say, well, hey, screw you, we're not going to do it. Or even better yet, anybody, like, is there a reason why it's not being done? I mean, this is open for you, Randy, or Fifi. Like I might have missed it. Is there a reason that Biden couldn't keep his promise, or the Democratic Party couldn't keep their promise?
I know for a fact Fifi got a lot to say about that, because I want to hear. I want to hear it, because I know that you got a lot to say about it.
All right,
the
cool.
only thing I would say is that I agree with you, Matt, but you know what that is? That's like a husband that beats his wife.
And buy her flowers the next day.
There you go.
Yeah. So
I'm not going to do it again. Like, that's baloney.
Yeah.
You could have been doing it. This is what gets you mad. Trump signed a lot of executive orders. Like, nope, put it in there. And the one thing people can't say about him is he was keeping his word. If he said he was going to do it, he did it. He like, okay, all right, this is what we'll do. Biden, he could go sign the executive order right now to eliminate at least $50,000 worth of student loan debt.
$50,000.
Do he know how much that would help? Just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how many Americans who right now not working, who got master degrees and are unemployed.
Great.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now, they know it, because the bottom line of it is he never planned on doing it.
Yep.
He never planned on doing it. And on that note, I'm handing the baton right to Fifi. He never planned on doing it. He never planned on doing it.
And see, this is the thing. This is what people have to understand about politics. It's a game. It's about who is going to win. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to win. Whatever I have to do to win. I do care about the people, but I don't care that much. My main priority is to win. So, yeah, I actually would like to help them cancel all this student loan debt. But in reality, I know I'm trying to get in the office first. And then once I get in the office, I'll mention it. But if they giving me too much pushback, then I ain't going to push back on it. I'm just going to let it be. Oh, well, we can't do it. Oh, well, I tried. I said something about it. I mentioned it. The thing is, like Randy said, you got to make sure when you say something, do not make a promise that you cannot keep. And that's all Biden was doing. I want to try to live off Obama. That same energy that we had, because everybody came out and voted for Obama. I worked with him. I saw the reaction. I saw the response. I saw the growth. I saw the frustration. I saw everything. And I was on the sidelines. I'm in the passenger seat. I'm on the ride, but I want that power. I want to be the one in charge. Now he got it. And now he like, oh, this all I really wanted. All that other stuff, I ain't trying to be stressed out. I ain't trying to be having all these issues happening to me and all this stuff going on. That's too much. And then I'm going to just briefly mention it. You see what it's doing to Kamala. That's all I'm going to say. Kamala out here going crazy. She tried to cuss niggas out and everything. She's like, don't be coming for Biden. Da, 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 da. She got to be the one to take the heat. Where he getting up at saying stuff like that? He ain't got that same energy she got, because it's all falling on her. Because they like, well, okay, well, we can't really get to him because he ain't really giving us no energy. He ain't giving us no time. He don't care. Kamala care. So we got to attack somewhere who cares, so then we can get a response and a reaction. Because I've been hearing that so much. Everybody feel like they not hearing nothing from this administration. This administration is so quiet. We don't know what's going on. You know, we got all these issues. We have natural disasters that's happening. They give a brief statement, but where the real action at?
You know what? I think a lot of that come from when you had a president like Donald Trump who had clickbait every time he got close to the microphone. It was like, boom. I mean, he say, boo. And they were like, oh, did you hear what he just said today? Boo. But I agree. I think what I'll say is that they're just not proactive.
Yep.
And they're definitely not reactive.
Yep.
So, like you said, now they extend it to May. But it's like the damage is done already. I've said this, I don't know how many times, and you know this, I said all the time, I said people will forget what you gave them, but people will never forget how you made them feel. People will never forget how you made them feel. And one of my favorite lines, boom, 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 a promise is only good if it's kept. So, since they basically just said, well, we're going to just, hopefully, we gave them Juneteenth. That'll get them quiet in regards to civil, civil rights. They'll get them quiet. They feel like they have a sense of accomplishment, like we just gave them an enema. Next, it's crazy. So it's ridiculous. And it's like it's in every system. You know, I mean, we just talk about the student loan on this aspect, but if we just got done talking about the criminal system, it's too much instability. It's nothing.
And the thing is, like, even when these things come about, I want to ask, like, we want, like, why our student loans can be forgiven? You promised it. Like, I mean, like, just to go back to the student loans, you promised it. So therefore, before you wouldn't have made this promise, you wanted to make sure that you could do it, right? So what happened between when we said, hey, we'll give you our vote, to when is this happening? Same thing with the justice system. Said, hey, okay, well, look, if this person is not guilty of bam, 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 and this person is guilty of bam, 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 how come they're not guilty? I mean, in which we all know it'll come out eventually, but like in the bigger scheme of things, like, okay, how can you go ahead and hold these 8 people accountable, but then this one person that done worse or the same as these 8 people and don't hold them accountable? We can put skin color, anything in it. So like, go ahead.
When you got the complexion for the protection, that's what happens. And see, I think a while ago, for a long time, and I mean this, and I'll say this to every, this no offense, and I don't feel like I should have to say this ain't all white people. You should know it. You should know if you're racist or not. So I shouldn't have to say if it's all white or anybody. If it don't apply, let it fly.
Yeah.
But for a long time, a lot of blacks forgot they were black. They thought because you could accumulate some of the stuff that whites can accumulate now, that you were subject to the same privileges, and the same luxuries as them. And like my brother Marcel said, that even with these cases of black Anglo-Saxons, that's John, I'm gonna put that on here. And that's truth. And some people might consider that a joke, but it's definitely truth. A lot of us got into that. They forgot that. And what happened for the most part is that sometimes you got to get that wake-up call.
Yep.
And we have gotten one heck of a wake-up call in these last couple of years. George Floyd was a huge wake-up call. And you saw the movement that made, but then it got blotted out because media pushed a whole different agenda talking about violence and buried the fact that it was injustice that while we were here, that a man's life got taken away unjustly, and they turned it around to as if we were rooting, setting stuff on fire. That's what they want to do, like put the media coverage on all that stuff. That's what we got to put the coverage on.
Yeah.
And this is why I can't stand media. And this is why every system, like Ms. Hills just said, it's no trust in it, because people are finally starting to wake up. As they want to say, I don't like the phrase when they say third eye, but what I mean is that when you start getting into a deeper consciousness, when you stop looking on such this plain
surface level,
yeah, now you like, this is what's going on.
Yeah,
this is what's happening. This is the savage of it. The fact that me and both of my cousins right now, they're on here, could be riding in the car doing absolutely nothing, no criminal records between us.
Yeah,
could get pulled over because they say we look or match the look of a suspected person.
Yep.
They could pull us out of the car.
Yep.
Treat us like criminals. We don't even fight or anything and let it go. And they would still have media turn it and like we're animals. They'll find everything impossible. They would find everything that we've done. They search, because in the history of media in this country, there is nothing more solid than to make blacks look like monsters. Because if you make them look like monsters, it looks justifiable no matter what treatment you're giving them. So this is the biggest problem that we have. And guess what? Because that happened, George Floyd, I believe, and I told somebody this, that made not a civil rights movement, because I'm speaking for myself on this one, y'all. civil rights won't do nothing in this country. I think it's a wasted effort to try to do civil rights.
Not in this day and age. Absolutely not.
Nope. And I believe in the reason why, and I'll get to it. And I know John over there, you're gonna agree with me.
I disagree.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
I'm
gonna tell you why. How can civil rights work for a group of individuals who were never considered in the rules in the first place? It's impossible. That's redundant. We were never considered to be humans in the first place in any law of this country. The only way you're ever going to be considered anything in this country is if you have money.
Yep.
It's financial.
Yep.
United States don't care about anything. They don't care about black. They don't care about white. They don't care about anything. They care about green. And you brought up that point. Dr. King started to get to the grips of that. To say, no, it's a financial battle. It's economics. That's not, and we got the next topic coming up, and I want to jump ahead of myself. But the problem is that you got to have money. If you're not bringing anything to the table, you're not saying nothing. You're either at the table or you at dinner. That's it.
You're on the menu.
Dinner. That's it.
Yeah.
People just ain't understanding this, and blacks ain't getting this. While everybody else, they try to figure out why we ain't getting no rights. And all you do is spend. You're a spender. You don't control anything in this economic.
And that's before we
wealth,
even get there. That's all I want to say. I just want to say the reason is why I agree 1,000% is absolutely not is because they do not take you serious unless you have ownership of something.
Ownership.
If you don't own nothing, you can't talk to me.
Yep.
If you ain't got nothing that is you are not indebted to, you don't have no debt. Everybody got debt because a lot of people have student loans. So it's not everybody, but a lot of people does.
That is big money in this country.
In general, if you don't know the rules of the game, you're not even a pawn on the board.
Think about it. If debt not big money in this country, they never would have saved any of those banks during 2008. They would have never bailed them out. That was the very first thing they told Bush because hey, guess what? Another Republican, George Bush, a lot of people don't know this. This is why you got to do your research. He did not want to bail not one of those companies out. He said, hell, this is a free market system. Let them crash. Yeah. That's exactly what he said. His Secretary of Treasury said, no, we shouldn't let them crash because this could be catastrophic because they know debt is big money in this country. They understand it. They understand that debt is slavery and slavery is big money in this country. They don't care about people talk about civil rights. We want to march. Well, think about it. We're gonna march what? So we can sit at the same table as them. We already sitting at the same table as them, and we ain't getting the same rights. We're going to the same schools as them.
We don't have knowledge.
We don't have nothing.
The main thing. If you don't have knowledge, you don't know what. Like they say, you know when you know. If you don't know, you don't know. And that's the thing. We're ignorant to so many things. And then we wonder why we're not getting ahead because we're ignorant. We don't know what they know. They're not better than us. They just have more knowledge.
And that's
how to play the game.
There you go. I'm about to put this up.
And that's where like Fifi, like where I agree with you now, because like I said, I only disagreed because I think eventually with especially this generation, the next generation, I think with ownership and people will have money and it'll somehow, like I said, it won't be fixed, but we'll have some say so, or we'll have some kind of, what's the one I want to use? I want to say maybe stakehold. Yeah, some kind of leverage. Yeah, we like think about where generations behind. Like I said, it's gonna take a while for us to get there. But I believe with people that we have in place right now that will have the finances and that will have the power and ownership to go ahead and get there. So I mean, like I said, like now, no, this next generation maybe not, but hopefully for the few generations ahead, it can happen. Like I said, I'm optimistic for it. But like I said, like what y'all said, which I said before, definitely makes sense. So
I put it to you like this. Think about this. Like I said, if 78% of the wealth in this country is endowed to white people, this is a fact. Go look it up. This is what it is. It's endowed to whites. What that leave everybody else What percentage of that is everybody else got to lead up to? They got to try to distribute that wealth between them.
With the rest of the world.
This is it. 78% for whites. It's been laid up. So now we got to try to figure this out quick and fast in a hurry. Can it happen? But it's got to be done quick, fast, in a hurry, because it's the gap. It was already wide, but it's widening like this.
Expeditiously.
It's widening, and this is the part, because people think, you know, when you have most, when I hear people talk, this is the problem with most that most blacks are not getting a grips with. They keep thinking that they look good because they're doing it on their own, and all you're doing is you're playing into the part anyway. You ain't even what's the name, 100,000 0.1% counted into the wealth. Because one person, okay, now I got a big business, so what they gonna do? This is the mindset of most African Americans. I got it. I can't let somebody else have it because there's only enough space to be occupied by me. Of course, I can't let them say anything. You know what I mean? So I got to keep it for myself. Mm. So now, which is a total opposite thinking of every other country, every other race, who says, "Hey, I'm
my whole family gonna be hired in this business."
You know what I'm saying? Ever seen this movie, Greek Wedding, Big Fat Greek Wedding? This movie, I look at movies and I see different points. What I saw in this movie is that you had families that had businesses, and it was a part in there where the daughter wanted to work at the travel agency, and then the son wanted to work at the restaurant. What they do? Did they have interviews? Did they have anything like that? No. What they do? Go ahead, switch it. Because they could do that when you got ownership.
Yes.
The problem is that in our community, we have been with this crazy belief that civil rights, low-income housing, and welfare is what we need more to get by. Keyword, get by, and that ain't even worked, okay? We want more low-income housing, meaning it's projects. They call projects that way for a reason. That's exactly what it is. It's a project. It's to see what happens when you put a group of African Americans that's experiencing great deals of poverty, lack of educational advancements, in one spot at one time, and you sit there and you observe what happens. When they saw what happened, they said, let's create more projects.
And it's funny you say that because it's funny you say that because I just had this conversation with my mom the other day about, she asked me, why do I want to be in the field that I'm in? Why do I have so much passion for the youth? Because I know the youth are the future. And I know that a lot of these same kids you're talking about, I observed they are in low income, impoverished areas. They live in the projects. But if I develop my company over there, if I open up a community center over there, and then every time they come every day, I start teaching them financial literacy. I start teaching them how to trade stocks. I start teaching them how to become an entrepreneur, and you can do whatever you want to do. They're going to start making money. They're going to start generating income. They're going to start breaking those generational patterns and systems that's been set in place to keep them thinking, oh, this is all I can have. Because that's the mindset that they have. Oh, I'm for the projects. I'm for the streets. This is all I can do.
What you preparing them to do, Felicia? You preparing them to sit at that table.
And that's my whole point. This is
not even that.
This is
you
why
preparing them to sit at their own damn table. Not nobody else. That's what
you notice with the educational system, they always do this comparison. They always say the public schools are the failing systems and failing ratings. But what's the difference between the public school and the private schools? The private schools have funding. They have government money. They have these communities pouring into these schools, and they don't have the same standards. Their standards is different. So they ain't got to do state testing. They ain't got to do none of that. So no, they're not gonna be failing. They just gonna be thriving and excelling do that because they can control how their goes. With the state school, you get money from the government, and you got all the rules of the government. And the government, like, oh, we want to make sure all the kids is is really benefiting from this funding. So we're gonna have tests to see if they're growing mentally and if they're advancing from grade to grade. But they don't push these kids at the test. That's it.
Say it louder. Say it louder and prouder.
They're not learning nothing.
How you gonna how you gonna make more tests?
And then they want to call them dumb and say they failing.
And the dumbest part is you make more tests thinking that that's going to solve the problem. That's a more of a distraction. Because all you're trying to say, if they don't know the information, giving them another test to show that they're at where they're currently at
ain't gonna help.
It ain't helping. But the problem is just like you said. This is where I had a problem with good old what's her name is the Secretary of Education that was underneath Trump, DeVos, the one who's a freaking idiot. The only reason she got in is because she gave to Trump's campaign, and she was like, well, you got to give me some job. Let's give him Secretary of Education. Like, you gonna give her Secretary of Education, and you got a neurosurgeon in Ben Carson? You give her a stay-at-home wife with a little bit of education? She just got it? Get out of here. Give me a break. But anyway, I didn't get on that. But she was taking funds from public schools and using them for private schools. This is the problem. Guess what? Farmington Hills, they got public schools. Farmington Hill public school system. West Bloomfield public school system. And some of these are some of the best, not only in Michigan, but in the country. They'll have classes of 15 kids. You know what they'll say? That's perfect. That's perfect. They get all the right on education that they need. If we have 15 students in Detroit Public School in one class, you know the lie they'll tell us? It ain't enough people coming to school, so we got to shut this school down. That's the perfect amount. And they think it's right because you do 40 people in a class and then, it's overcrowded. It ain't like get out of here. Stop it. Give all we're asking for. And maybe, like I said, I think we just get to the point where we done asking. We need to find a way to have a system that we know is going to benefit us outside of them. And I know that's going to be some harsh talk for a lot of people because they're like, well, what are you trying to say? Separate? It ain't worked. It ain't worked yet. You kind of say, oh, it's segregation. It's the new segregation. It's economic, educational segregation. Give these schools the very best education possible. Teach them about the finances. Teach them about technology. Give the inner city schools, give them the slops off the table. Give them the books that's 8 years too old. Give them computers that barely run, that's still using the DOS system. Give me a break. Talking about public school. And then now, what happens here, if anytime there's some violence down here, which it ain't, you know what I'm saying, it happens, it's, that's the inner city. What you expect? It happened out there. It's national news. That's how you know when they care. That's how you know the media pushes so much stuff. And that's where I think Fifi and Matt, I agree with both of y'all because this is where it's at now. A long time ago, people had problems with Malcolm X. Malcolm X said something real deep. He was talking economics for a long time. Said we have to do economics. It's going to have to be economical. Even W.E.D. Boys said the same thing. Booker T. Washington, even though people didn't they thought he was kind of a little Uncle Tom, he was saying the same thing. They said economics would be the power that we have to raise up here. And they knew it. Think about it. Every time we had a system where self-sustaining, our money was flowing through like it do in the Asian community, in the Jewish community. They destroyed it. They destroyed it.
Because they knew what power we possessed.
There you go. They not only know the power we possess, but they understand the loss of power they would have if we ever said it. We don't need y'all. It's nothing more bruising to whites than when people don't need them no more. Think about it. Every time people came over here to this country, and I'm almost done. I'm sorry. Every time people came over to this country, think about it. Look at the mass confusion and the power of the media they did to blacks in this country, right? We're the only one of any of these races that came over here against our will, first of all. When Japanese came over here, when Chinese came over here, they came over here looking for jobs. They brutalized them. They beat them. They even had, cities where they massacred them by the hundreds. They did it to the Mexicans. They did it to the Jews. They did it to everybody. But yet, when you ask any of them who they are more afraid of than anybody, they'll sit there and point and say blacks. How you afraid of the people at the lowest part of the food chain? That's a media trick they done. Blacks is the enemies. Is y'all crazy? These white folks has been the most diabolical force to ever step foot on this planet.
To even like agree with you, cuz like even people that I know in college, when they talk about stereotypes, they get it from TV. And like I said, with that media press, all right, I come to this country knowing that you can do this and you can do that. And that's just what it is.
And you know what? You just said it. The other part too,
media.
Is that even though those countries, those other races had those things happen to them, they stuck together. Yeah. What they did, they said, you know what? We're going to need each other to survive. So guess what? In just about every major state, you got a Chinatown, you got a Mexican town, you got a Jewish community, you got all these different type of communities. Name one place where you got where it say Blackville.
The hood.
Oh, wait. And that's what they consider that. They consider that the hood. And guess who runs stuff in the black community?
White people.
Koreans.
White
Asians. People. They own all the businesses. There's no place else on earth where the majority of people that stay in a community don't own majority of the businesses. Every other community is like that, except black communities.
And you know
if
what?
It does get like that, they're coming after it.
It brings something interesting too when you talk about what's the word I want to use. Well, you can't discriminate. You can't discriminate because we need your money. You can't discriminate because hey, we need you to generate money to let us get paid. So it's like maybe that's why most stuff is placed, not to show that well, hey, it's not a place to say, hey, we're actually equal. You should deserve to be treated like this, so we're gonna hire you. Nah, because if we can accept you here, we can accept your money, which all your money's going to come here is going to, like I said, just generate throughout our companies. I just wonder if that wasn't in place and we were forced to have our own, how would the country look?
We saw how it looked. Prior to 1964, we saw how it looked. That was one of the most economically strongest times in black history because we was taking part in the system that we're going to talk about later on. It's called capitalism. And basically, capitalism says one thing. We're privately owned, we're privately supported, and those funds go to us privately. That's capitalism. That's exactly what it is. So what happened that made us messed up? I'm telling you. Whites did a little thing called, you know what I'm saying, the civil rights of 1964. This act is crazy. It said that you can't discriminate based on sex, gender, or race. It had nothing to say about you can't do nothing to black folks. But what happened is that as soon as that happened, black folks stopped depending on each other. They said, you know what? We could go sit in this restaurant where they were spitting, beating on us, pissing on us, sicking dogs on us, because guess what? We're accepted now. I've been like, forget that place. I'm never going to go eating there again. If you don't have it, we ain't going to have it. And that's the mentality of everybody else. Asians won't even hire blacks. You just start seeing a little bit of this because they would only hire their own people. And I can't be mad at them. Yeah. I would take part in nepotism. Why wouldn't I want to have my own people supported, teaching my people the game, finances, and everything else to get our race stronger and my community stronger? See, they want to tell you that's reverse racism, but every other race does it. But when blacks, the reason why they saying that with blacks, because they understand the economic buying power that blacks have. And if they ever flipped it and said, instead of being the number one consumer, we want to be owners. They know how dangerous that is.
We're going to be the lender and not the borrower.
There you go. There we go. Now, picture that. Picture going to a place where it's black-owned grocery stores, black-owned banks, black-owned beauty supply stores, black-owned liquor stores, black-owned barbershops, Black owned everything from down the street to pharmacies to everything else.
Black owned and black employed too,
There you
because
go.
you be black owned, but you got everybody in there working. Don't look
Right.
like
That says something. Like, you're right, Fifi. Like, to show that, hey, we take pride in this. We're gonna protect this and invest in this. That's crazy.
Yep.
But it's
and not being afraid. And not being
the crazy
afraid.
part, that shouldn't sound crazy though. Like that sound really backwards. Like, it shouldn't sound crazy, but it's crazy.
It's because it's the media. It's because it's the media. This is why media has been so powerful for years. Because they can push an image so much that people start believing it.
Yeah.
That's why media is so powerful.
With no facts behind it, nothing to back it up, no evidence, no proof. They said it, so it's real. No, that ain't how it works.
And we just said this on the text too, Fifi. I just said this on the text. We had a group text, and I said this on there. It's one thing that ignorant Negroes and stupid rednecks have in common. That they repeat, but they never research. That means as soon as they hear it, it go white, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I know. Like, man, we saw Elvis. Man, we saw Elvis over there. I saw Elvis over there in the building, man. Did you see him? No, I heard it, but it's got to be true because I heard it. Like, how about you go over there and take a look first before you say that? It's just stupid because bad news travels 10 times faster than good news ever will. And nobody's interested in the truth once the lie is found out to be more entertaining. Period. John, I see you on there. Miss Kathy, how you doing? So I know we got to get to next topic. Man, goodness, man. Y'all crazy. And this is really a good topic. Forgiveness is one of those things that I believe that is necessary for everybody, because forgiveness, I believe, is for you. It's not for the other person. It's for you to be free.
Yeah, facts.
But what happens when you don't see the same amount of forgiveness and grace and mercy given to everybody? Even if it's similar situations. Let's say you got someone that go right back into crime. Let's say you got someone who steals a candy bar. Now, I don't think it's a huge crime. It's a crime nonetheless. I would say maybe boycott them from the store. You can't go back to the store. Tell them, get out of here, return the candy bar. You got to do some work around the store to repay what you took. I think that's absolutely fair. And some people will get that if they are the right skin complexion. But then other people will get 2 years in prison for stealing a candy bar. Some people then got 20 years in prison for stealing bread because no one was there. They couldn't afford any laws, and the laws failed them because the laws wasn't fair. I know we particularly talked about a coach, and I know we use this. I know Mac and me were talking about it. It's a coach named Urban Meyer. Just in case anybody don't know him. Urban Meyer was a coach at Florida University, the Gators. Got down there, won big time, but it was morally corrupt. Got fired there. Got hired again. Hired at Ohio State. Got there. Crazy. All he did was win. Same corruption. Same. Ain't learned his lesson. Still the same unmoral person he always been.
That's two. Just so everybody keep up. That's two.
Now he got another job. It was with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is a professional football team, for those who don't know. It ain't even been a year. And he had so many morally corrupt, like not going back with his team when he was supposed to. That's unheard of. To stay back at the club that he owns to get lap dances and then videotape it. Not only getting into it with his coaching staff and players and other moral corruptible behavior, to where it got to the point where they're like, man, we got to fire him. Yeah, you gave him a lot of opportunities, and these ain't little opportunities. It looked like he went up instead of going down.
Yeah.
Then
Now,
you got someone.
you
Like,
you
we got somebody like a Mike Vick.
Yep. I was just gonna bring up Mike Vick. Yep.
Go ahead. Tell me what Mike Vick. Tell me about Mike Vick, just in case you don't know who he is.
Okay. So Mike Vick was a superstar quarterback, right? He did win. Like, he didn't get any championships, but he did win. He produced. Now, Urban Meyer, he was at 3, right? Mm-hmm. He was at 3. Mike Vick made one mistake, which he didn't make. He was associated with one mistake with the dog fighting. Not only he was condemned, removed from the league, and still to this day, people use it against Michael Vick's character of not like, wow, he shouldn't get a second chance. Even though he didn't directly do it, he shouldn't get a second chance. After we gave this guy 3 chances, and I believe he's going to get a 4th. Absolutely. It may not be a head coaching job. It may not be in the NFL, but as good as going to get, he's going to get another chance.
Absolutely.
So,
we got so many other examples. And like you said, we got many examples. Fifi, I know you got examples where it's like, hold on. Where's your moral compass on this person? This person gets every chance in the book, but this person is unforgivable. Because let's make one thing clear, too, about Michael Vick, that he just made one mistake, but yet when he got out of prison, he actually got reformed. He still gives to these organizations.
Yeah.
For Peter, he still does this. It wasn't just for show. His papers been off of this man over 10 years. And he's still doing it because he realized how wrong he was. Urban Meyer has yet to witness anything in his ways, but like you said, probably in the next couple of months, he's going to get the job at Notre Dame. What is wrong? And why do people think
they deserve each other?
Deserve more? It's crazy.
They deserve each other.
Yeah. What do you do? What do you do? I mean, why is it that some people believe some people deserve more mercy than others? And I know people like, "Whoo, y'all doing a lot of racial issues," but this is not so much racial issues. This ain't racial. It's right or wrong. We're trying to get people to understand what's between right and wrong. Period. If they do the same crime, and it's they both of their first time doing it, why they don't get the same amount of time? We'll get some stats. It is showed that whites, for particular misdemeanors that average under 5 years, has been shown to get 85% less times than African Americans, Latinos, and Asians.
That's a lot.
That's beyond. That's not even
nowhere near it's leaps and bounds, okay? Listen.
That's a B plus. That's a B minus. That's a B minus, right? 85. No, shoot, that's a B. That's a freaking B.
No comparison.
You're telling me that's the favor they get is B favor, while everybody else got to settle for failure. F. Something ain't right with that.
The answer is the bias.
Absolutely.
It's the bias. You feel like he gonna keep making me money, and he got the look. So he is going to keep getting these positions. But Michael Vick, nah. We know that these young men out here are making us the money because they're the players. They're the one doing the work. They're getting the wins. They're getting roughed up, whatever. They getting surgeries and jumping back onto the field. However, you as the star player has all the attention. And if I don't push you and make it memorable, then I think all the other Black people who work here are going to think they can do it too and get away with it. So again, just like we talked about with slavery, I have to make an example out of you so that nobody else thinks they can do these type of things.
Woo. Dang, you getting a whole bunch of good answers today. That's like your 8th or 10th ding, 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 ding. I don't...
Listen, I've been gone for a minute. I gotta catch back up.
Right. Goodness.
But that's what it is. Simple. Basic mathematics. 1 + 1 = 2. That's what it is. It's both the face. It's literally. So that's why some people can forgive. Because it ain't, to me, in this type of situation, in majority of the situations, it's not even about forgiveness. It's about what can I tolerate? I can tolerate this. I ain't gotta even care about it, but I can tolerate it.
Fifi, say that one more time for us because it broke up a little bit.
It's about tolerating. They can tolerate. It ain't got nothing to do with caring about it. So they ain't got to worry about forgiveness because they don't care. It's about, can I tolerate you doing this, and this? If I can tolerate you doing this, cool. But because vast majority of their patrons are white people, and white people love animals, especially dogs. Oh, half of their funding comes from all the little sponsors that have to do with dogs. Anything that got to do with dogs, animals in general. They're just like, this is unacceptable. This is unforgivable. They can't tolerate that because there are going to be too many white people coming to them with complaints, with issues, with whatever. They don't want to hear that. Simple. It's simple.
Mac, I'm gonna let you say something after this, but I want some good one. Mac, because I think you're gonna really like this when I say this. I think you're gonna really like it because he's wearing his he on his Freddie Gibbs today. I could tell. So give it up for Gibbs. But let me tell y'all something, Fifi. I don't know what it is, man. I'm so happy to have you back because you're hitting everything. So I gotta kind of go with the flow because I'm trying to figure out, like, dang, she hit a point I was gonna make. But you said tolerate. And that's so powerful because think about this, everybody. Not too long ago, Rick Ross had a song out.
Oh, yeah.
And he was talking about killing a nigga, doing this and a nigga, doing that to a nigga, but nigga, this nigga that hammer drop a pill, date rape. Whoa. They was like, wait a minute. Did he say something about date rape?
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is that they came in storms about Rick Ross and that one lyric in the song talking about date rape. So bad that Reebok, who he had a contract with,
took his deal.
They took his deal right off the bat. It was no, do not collect go, don't get $200. Right off the bat. But they can't tolerate the date rape aspect. But they can tolerate killing and doing stuff to niggas. They can tolerate that talk. If you go to any radio station, this is my problem with anybody when they say this. They can say you can say nigga all day on Meta, Instagram, Twitter. Ain't nothing happening to your profile.
No,
nothing. They won't say nothing.
You said one word that they're thinking about. It's a wrap.
Yep. You can't say nothing. But if you say anything about lesbian, transgender, gay, bisexual, Q or wherever the Q and everything stand for, all that stuff. But if you say something about that, queer. That's already covered already. Queer, never mind. But
be careful.
It's already being said already. That's what I thought it was, but I don't know. But what happens is that because they are in a position of power, they are in a position of ownership. I'm bringing everything we talk about home back to what we talk. They're in a position of ownership. They have power. They got Hollywood underneath their thumb. They got media underneath their thumb. That if you say anything that they don't find likable or offensive, that they cannot tolerate, keyword tolerate, oh, it's cancel time for you. We've already seen what it can happen. But guess what? We can say nigga and stuff all day. And it's funny that even transgender men It's like they don't even understand black man. I've heard them say something like nigga. This nigga, this. I'm like, so you have no problem disrespecting your own people, black people, but you get an offense about transgender and then say that straight black men are homophobic and don't support they black trans sisters, but yet you're saying nigga like you got first dibs in the KKK line. This is what you're telling me. You're saying it's fine for us to do that, but this is what happens when you allow something to go on for so long. Even white folks say it now. It's cute. It's a word. It's a trend. It's nigga. It's a trend. Nigga, come on. We can say nigga. Come on. But that's why they'll turn it down if they see black people come around. Because they still know that even much as we say it, they know that they get the wrong one. It may not be tolerated.
That part.
And that's that part. There you go, Fifi. That freaking part right there.
That part.
People don't want to tolerate it, and it just let you know everything is being shown to a certain extent how they feel. I believe, and I'm actually thanking God for this, because it's time for a lot of the blacks in this country to finally see how I really feel. They almost forgot, like we've been saying, they forgot that they were black. You forgot that you were African American. You thought that because you got a little bit of their wealth, now you done got something. Now you got something substantial. Now you can be considered one of their own. Even Oprah Winfrey went overseas and she didn't have no makeup on or nothing like that. And when she got into that store, they treated her like another nigga. They don't care. You just a Negro with money. Because if they were really powerful, they would be contributing back to their own communities and doing all those things instead of going over to. It's going to sound bad. Instead of going over to Africa, building schools in the middle of nowhere, when you got your own community over here where the schools are falling apart, they're hungry and ain't got nothing to go by living in pigsties, but yet you want to go over there because you consider yourself a little self-righteous and too good to help your own people in your own cities.
Now, I definitely agree. I don't see no wrongness in what you said, because think about it. Like, with people from Africa, they come over here, they get the education. They go back home and build their home up. like that's what happens. Like, people will come to America, get their knowledge, resources, whatever funding they can get, and they go right back to their country and take care of their people.
What's wrong? So now I guess that's a topic for another show. What's wrong with us?
We need healing.
What's wrong? Woo!
That's what it is. Carrying all this trauma that we ain't never got released. But that's another time. Another time.
Fifi, I'm gonna add to what you said. You healing. I think that's definitely one. I think we need the patience, and the reason I say patience because you alluded to it earlier, Fifi. We can get the knowledge. We have the knowledge, and we can obviously have the we can get it. It's like, do we want to wait for it? Or I don't want to wait this long and get it. Or hey, I may work this hard to may not even see it in my lifetime, but I know it's gonna help in the future. I mean, that's where we're at right now. And some people rather go ahead and enjoy it now. And they're gonna die with what they have. And yet what you have could have benefited the past 2 or 3 generations that could get us to where we're at. Like I said, to have our own, to be at the table, have our own table, like I said, so I think that's one of the things just to add to it.
No,
just
go
to
ahead.
add to it.
I'm gonna say this little part because I y'all know how I be. I'm gonna keep going and going.
No,
so I'm
you
gonna
good.
just say this.
You're good. I'm sitting there. I'm agreeing with it.
When you get healing, most people think physical. That happens, but it starts in the mind. It's the mindset.
Come on.
The healing starts with the mindset. It's the perspective change. We have a impoverished survival mentality. So this is why our actions and everything we do is produced off that. This is why we so flashy. Mm-hmm. I just got my refund check from the IRS and now I'm out here buying TVs, cars, blinging because I'm trying to show you I got it. I'm trying to prove something to you. And it ain't even to the white people. It's to my own people. You my whole cousin. You seen me yesterday and saw what I had on. And then I came in here like, what? I'm stunning on you. Racks on racks. This is why it's glorified in the media, and how the media, all they do is, okay, I'm going to just say this one thing. We give them the power because we are the ones who are showing them the inch and the mile. It's like the devil. Whether you believe in him or not. He watches and studies. He watches your patterns. So he sees your weaknesses. Oh, okay, you weak at this? Oh, I'm going to keep coming right here then. Until I can get in. All I need is a little crack. That's all I need. And that's what the media does. Oh, I see that they really like stunting and showing off. So all I'm going to do is keep producing that to make that glorified. So now that's their whole focus. They got low expectations and standards now because I lowered it based off them. Y'all got excited about this one thing. So now I'm going to capitalize on that. Our favorite word, capitalizing, capitalism. I'm going to capitalize on that. Y'all like to show off? Oh, well, let me use these young rappers. I'm going to make them do what I want them to do because I'm the record label and I control them because they don't get a check unless they do what I say because they signed a contract. And if they void out their contract, then they ain't getting no money and they running for this money. So all I'm going to do is dress them how I want. I need you to look like this. Make it look a little bit more urban. Make it look like this. I need you to have more extensive lyrics. I need you to get real grudge with it. I need you to
look like Young Thug.
I'm just saying. Some of them play a certain way. But the point is, they capitalize on that. Half of them ain't never had racks on racks. They're provided the racks from the label and the company so they can make it look like they got them racks, but they really don't. They broke. They struggling. They poor. They chasing the bait. The point is, this is how the media has helped just edge it along. This is why when you, like you said, I agree with you, Mac. When people in other countries hear us, they go straight for the stereotype because they watch Love and Hip Hop too. And they think, oh, this is how black women are. They don't like each other. They always want to fight and cuss each other out and cuss and be naked and do all these things. No, that's not who black people are. But that's what they capitalize on to portray us. So then that's the mass majority. That's what they think of us.
Absolutely.
So this is why we're stuck in this mindset because that's all we see. It's like a brainwashing. You see this every day, all the time. Little young boys is like, oh, I got to fight every day because I got to prove myself. I got to get street cred. I got to get my ones. My nephew say that all the time. No, auntie, I had to get my ones. But your ones, you fighting. You proving I can beat you up. What is that getting you? That's not getting you A's and B's in school. You got F's. You failing. You struggling. You still not getting smarter. But you feel like you gaining something because what you see on TV was glorified. You out here in the streets doing that same thing.
Yep.
It's simple. My nephew ain't out here doing all that now. Absolutely not. But I'm just saying that's a prime example because it's like he's so heavily influenced. And that's the key word, influence. They just keep pushing the influence. And then all you do is keep taking it. And that's why our mindset is the way it is and why we are not getting ahead like we should. Why we don't see ourselves of value like we should. While young women is buying weaves and wigs and all these things, trying to get different hair than what grow out they scalp, amongst other things, because they don't see the value in what they already have.
Whoa. That's interesting. That brings me to our very last topic and a real quick topic. Real quick one. Because we'll stay on this bad boy all day, which I don't care about because I absolutely agree with that.
It's good to have you back, Fifi. I just want to say that again.
Absolutely. We is loving this, man. Loving this, these points. Instagram. And I'm glad I had on there because we needed a woman.
This might be longer than.
I mean, it's going to make it do what it do.
Y'all keep it ready.
We're going to make it do it. I know because me and Matt was talking about this before. He was like, man, we going to make it do what it do. Y'all still there, so we going to keep it going. I may be considered, I don't want to say, dang, I can't, maybe a traditional man by standards in terms of how I would like a relationship to be. but also amount of respect. So let me just get to the question and we'll take it there because it sounds like I'm explaining myself. So I was laughing. I talked to my cousin and I was talking about a conversation I was having with some people. I was just like, man, Instagram is just pretty much just women just doing stuff to add attention to their bodies. Like you'll see a girl, she'll have she'll do something like, oh man, this juice is so good, but she'll be drinking it, but it's like like her breasts will be all in it. It's like it's everything is to add attention to whatever she's trying to do. Like, oh, how you like this dress? And then you see long split, or they just get flat out, just see neck like, hey, how you doing? Look at this, sponsoring and stuff like this. I say I would grow to think that I think like about 80% of the advertisements or the things that you're seeing on Instagram is mostly women, and it's always with sex using to help sell the item. Our question was, or what we were coming up with, is that as a man, and we can put it in a man's scope too, because I guess men might use their bodies to sell. I mean, do that kind of. Yeah. They used to do this.
Got a little
they go to the gym.
She said that quick. She interrupted me. I'm like,
they do.
Hey, my screen almost froze. So I'm like, but would you be okay with the fact that the person you with is doing all this type of, we'll say for the lack of a better word, advertisement or skin advertisement on social media? We'll give you two examples. Let's say if you knew it prior to them doing it, so they've been doing it prior to you meeting them, or they just started doing it as y'all been together. Does it make a difference, or would you say no either way? Like, no, I can't do that.
I'm all right. So before we go, really quick, me and Randy talk about it. We're on the same page, so I'm gonna be the devil's advocate. So we can go there. Go ahead, Felicia.
All I'm gonna say is, first off, I'm not the traditional, or what you call it. I'm not the following woman. I don't just do what's trendy and what people go with. I'm usually on the way left on the other side. So my opinion is going to be based off Mrs. Hills. I'm not going to say I represent all of the ladies because some may not agree, but a vast majority may. So I'm just going to speak my piece. So if it was me, I'm being honest. The way I'm coming into a relationship, it's a whole heavy research situation beforehand. We got to be friends first. I got to see you in all type of facets. So like, if you're clever enough to hide this from me for that long, and I just never know, like you got a secret account or something and just don't nobody know, because that's the only way you gonna be in a relationship with me in that kind of way where I'm not aware of stuff like that. You got to be a master of disguise. Like I cannot find out. I just don't know. But I do find out. Yes, that's going to be an issue. Number one, because you lied and I don't know nothing about this and it's a whole secret. We don't keep secrets. What we doing? No, we ain't doing that. But because of that, to me, that's deep. That's deeper issues to me. That's red flags to me, because now that means, like I said, it goes to my same point I made right before this, which led us into this. There are some value issues here. You feel like you have to do this because you're trying to gain something from it that you feel like you don't already have. That's just how I'm looking at it. And I'm looking at it that way, and it ain't no dumbing down and demeaning way, but it's more of, okay, let's do self-love. Okay, if any of these people had a lot of self-love, when you see people that has a lot of self-love, and not to say that you can't love yourself and be out here like, hey, this, I worked for this, I made this, I did this is great. No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, they're not doing it just because they love themselves. They're doing it because majority of the time they're looking for the approval of others. I need you to like this. I need you to comment on this. I need you to validate me in some kind of way to show me that I'm doing good, that I'm on track, that I'm fly, that I'm whatever. That's what I'm saying. And I feel like if I was in a relationship with a man who, let's use my husband for example, I am married. So if my husband was out here with a whole secret, I'm out here, look at me, that's where I would go first. Like, okay, we need to have a real conversation. Let's dig deep. Because surface, yeah, I could turn up and be like, no, what you doing? What's happening? Why you lying? Whatever, whatever. But it's deeper than that. And it's the same for the women. It's deeper than that. For me, this is my opinion. It's not just I'm trying to be naked, look at me. I want sex, look at me. It is deeper than that. Because if they got all the sex they wanted and it was great sex all the time, and you getting all the attention all the time, and you're still doing this, again, it goes past just, oh, I just want to do it because it's fun. You're trying to get something from it. That's the whole thing. You're trying to get something from it. It's a difference if you just had a page like, okay, let's use Cardi B when she was on Vine before she blew up. Cardi B wasn't cute. She wasn't out here like, oh, whatever. She was just real. I'm a stripper. I do this. This is what I am. This is what it is. And then that helped her to blow up. Right. Cardi B wasn't out here lying like, yeah, even with her body. She's like, yeah, I did this. I had a whole baby and then got liposuction while they was throwing me up because I want this look and I deserve it because I earned it and I did this. That's a total difference. Right. Versus a Nicki Minaj who was like, I need this to blow up. I've been in the rap game. I've been doing this, but I see the sex is what sells. So I got to get into that. So then I can get that same level playing field that these people got. I need that attention. I've been dope. I'm great. But I need to get that extra leg up. So I got to go through this in order to get that attention. So I've been dope, but now you got to see it. So I can't, you ain't seeing it unless I do this. That's what I'm saying. That's the total difference.
I think, like I said, just to play devil's advocate, I wouldn't like the first part you said, Randy. If we were together and you just start out showing your body and stuff like that, yeah, that I would have a problem with. But if I know, let's just say you're an Instagram model or whoever, right? And I know of this, like how I would look at this, I don't see nothing wrong with somebody capitalizing on their beauty or like on their body or what they have. Like, okay, well, hey, as long as I'm the only person getting it, then it's fine, do whatever. Some people can tolerate that. Some people like more excitement. Some people like more like it's a challenge or some kind of a infatuation with it, you know. And then when you have that, you're allowed to look at other people. But you know, some people can handle that. Is what some people can tolerate. Now, like I said, hey, me, like nobody's touching what's mine personally, like because it belongs to me. But I can't, if somebody's making a living off of it, and if somebody can accept it, I don't see anything wrong with it. Yeah, and there might even be some kind of trauma of like, hey, I don't like myself. I need certain approval to, you know, feel like I'm somebody. But there's some people like, hey, look, I'm fine. I got a nice ass. I got a nice pair of tits. My body looks nice. Why not capitalize it? So like, and I find a guy or a girl that can accept that, which a lot of people would. Like, what's wrong with it? Like, let's even look at it this way. If let's just take Cardi B, like right now, like you said, because back then she wasn't all that. But let's just say Cardi B right now breaks up with Offset, and she said, "Hey, I'm ready to date." Most of the men out here would date her, marry her, and take her for who she is, even though what she's put out there and what she's done. We know her history. We know she's not going to stop, and we know that we know what industry she's in. If you can accept it, that's just what it is, and some people can accept that. Like, there's a lifestyle that some people are in there where they have to accept certain things. We're like, well, hey, if you want to marry or date this person, this is what comes with it, and some people can accept that. Some people can't. So I think there, like I said, like I think there's a different lifestyle, and like I said, some of it doesn't come with trauma. So I would be on, like I said, I would be on board if I know somebody in that kind of industry or in that profession that, hey, listen, I capitalize on being beautiful, but if it's I'm just gonna be honest. I would say if it's nothing outside of that, then it's cool. But there's temptation. There can be, there's possibly stuff outside of that. Like there could be somebody that makes more money than me that could be more attracted to you or whatever. Because you're in that industry, you're gonna see more people that's different from me. So hey, some people can handle it, some people can't. Some people can trust that it won't happen. Some people can't trust that it happens. So it's all in the preference.
And honestly, I can't say I do not disagree with you. I agree with you 1,000%. But majority of the time, it's a little deeper than that. If you see, this is the thing. People go based off the surface. But if we had an interview with half of these people and you ask them, why did you become an influencer? Why did you become a bodybuilder? Why did you become a model? A lot of them will say they had body issues. They had issues with their appearance and they didn't like it, so they did something about it to change it. That ain't all bad.
Yeah,
that ain't all bad.
Yo, and like you're right, but then like I said, you have some people who have naturally nice bodies that people like, and it's like, well, damn, like I just go to I just play volleyball, I just go to the gym, I just run, and if you want to pay me for just wearing something that you can just see what I do every day, then like why not?
But see, I feel like what you're saying right now is a difference from the kind of question that Randy, Mr. Johnson, was asking. Because I don't know, he got to correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the tone is different. Because we can see an athlete all the time. This is your uniform, what you're wearing. You need this in order to perform better.
Yeah.
That's what the way they posted and they put it. But it's just to show off your athletic body because you worked hard for this and it look good. And I like Nike. Nike will not get no fat person, no disrespect, but they ain't gonna get no fat person to wear their clothes if they're trying to do an athletic type of commercial. They want someone who looks athletic in their athletic clothing line. If they got a regular clothing line, then it's different. But that's what I'm saying. It's like that's a difference versus being an influencer, and it depends on what type of influencer you are.
Yeah, no,
and Randy was talking about the ones who got they boobs all out and they drinking juice like this and all that. So when I was speaking to that part at first, so if you talk about them, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I mean, even to go there, I'm just saying that basically some people naturally have it and have no problem. Like, okay, well, if I can build an avenue just from what I have, or like, hey, if I have a nice booty and flat titties and my face okay, if I get some nice titties and I able to do whatever, like some people cool with it. Like,
yeah,
that's straight up. Like think about it, like. And this is a conversation I have with a lot of guys. Like, they can have a girl like, hey, all right, she pretty, you know what I'm saying? And she look all right, but shoot, and I love her. I like booty. If I go smack a booty on her, she good to go.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's real. Like,
it is.
It's accepted. And like I said, it underlying issues or whatever. Something like
okay. So this is the bottom line. I'm saying a lot of the images that you have about women and the way they should look and booty and breast and all these things, focusing on women and the way Randy had talked about it in the beginning. If you never seen it advertised, if you never seen it and all you seen was a skinny stick woman, you wouldn't have no reference of all of these other things if it wasn't in front of you. You're looking at what you see in front of you, and that's your gauge of what's beauty and what's not. So what I'm saying is because you have all of these extra things coming at you and you get to have comparison, you got options. If you ain't never have options, it would be a different view. It would be a different perspective because this is the only thing you see, this is the only thing you know, so this is beautiful. You're not thinking and creating other images and thoughts and fantasies in your mind because you don't have nothing to fantasize off of. But once you start getting these things you can see, that's, oh, my girl look like this, but then I seen Cardi B looking like this, my girl need to look like that. Now that's giving you something to gauge and look at, and now that's where the fantasy develops because now you see something that you've never seen before that looks great to you because it's like, oh, look at that. And that's all I'm saying about the influencers. That's their job, is to bigger and better.
Yep, it's to sell you it's to sell you a dream. It's the same way you go if you go into a strip club. That's what a stripper does. But it's to sell you a dream. But what I think is more powerful than anything, because I agree with both of y'all, a lot of stuff that both of y'all were saying. I think when it comes to this part is that you'll see somebody. I think a lot of stuff, the one key part that I know that you said, Fifi, is when you said that a lot of the women, and I could be attest to this because I know a lot of women who were the quote unquote ugly ducklings, or how they want to say it, or they just want to always have some problems with them, and then as soon as they, for some reason, they develop, buy money or whatever they gotta do, they get now they like, I got it and I'm flaunting it like I saw the girls do when I was young. So I think a lot of that is a self-image issue, and that's why it's so big right now with Instagram trying to change things up, because and they know it. That's the problem. They know that it really is a stress on a lot of young women. And we ain't talking about young women that people would say would be quote unquote ugly ducklings. It's these girls that we would all look at and say, ain't nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
But they so self-conscious because they see this and they see that. The problem is a lot of guys be thinking that the girls doing it for you. The girls ain't doing it for you. Majority of the times you see these girls, it's to show other women that, hey, I'm this deal. And like you said, I need these likes. I got to have this self-esteem. And, I need this. The more likes I have, that's why you have all these people talking about we have to take away the likes. Take off the likes on there. We can't show how many likes they got because people are getting sad. These girls are getting self-image problems. And it's been that way for a long time with women. That's the real big thing. It's been that way for a long time. But, just like we was all saying in the beginning when, could you be with someone? I feel like for me, it'll really be hard for me to be with someone like that because my thing would be, and I say this and I laugh all the time when I see this, like I see a married woman on there and like I saw this one married woman, she had this, you got a family, husband and all, but you had a Christmas card with you in lingerie standing in front of the Christmas tree saying happy holidays. Yeah, I'm going to have a problem with that. It ain't got nothing to do with insecurity. You as my wife should not be in that position. And I brought it up with Mac one time. I said Tyra Banks was a supermodel. She don't do no modeling no more. You want to know why? Because she owned the company. It's a big. It should be an end game with things. I think what happens is that I feel like with Instagram and a lot of other places, I ain't gonna lie. I'm just not gonna be satisfied with that. I have pictures right now that I'll tell my lady, hey, you want me to put that? She'll say, no, I want you to put it on there. And it ain't nothing. Everything else like that. It's just something she like. No, I don't want that picture on there. And it'd be just something like it'd be a really good picture.
I want to cut you off and ask you something, Randy. So you're telling me if you were married to somebody, if you're in a relationship with somebody and they were a model, and you can see that their end game was to have their own company, or you can see them having their own company, then would you be okay with it? Because I see you use Tyra Banks as an example, which I
think that'd be a lot different because Tyra Banks is cashing big checks for being a supermodel, and she's touring overseas supermodel. She's not doing it in her basement or doing it with the help of a lot of other stuff. But I say with a lot of things to be probably because a lot of it is just soft porn. I mean, people just need to kind of be real with it. She was a supermodel who modeled clothes. She didn't model tits. She modeled the swimsuit. She was a swimsuit. She modeled clothes. She walked down a runway. These chicks ain't walking down runways. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. They're not walking down runways. You know what I'm saying? Even when they do everything they got to do. If she's walking around, she's twerking, they like, look, I'm an Instagram model. So I'm like, okay, you an Instagram model? My thing would be to a certain point. If I met you and that's what you did before, that's when I got to be real with myself and say, I can't deal with that. I don't see nothing wrong with you as a person, but I don't want to be disrespectful because I don't want my guys coming up to me talking about, whoo, man, I know what your girl woo, woo, 2 and 2 look like. And no, what man will want that? what man will want? What woman will want that? I know what your guy, what's his name, looks like. I know I've seen it before.
And see, I think that's what we're saying, Mac. That's what we're saying. It's not about you having a bad body and not
trust and believe. Mac agree with that. He just taking the devil's advocate.
It ain't got nothing to do with the body. You can be a butt naked model, okay? But the thing is, it's all about the intent behind it, the morality of it, like what it could. Thinking about the consequence of the action. That's what we're always saying.
Women's got curves.
And Fifi, I get that, but let's just say if that person is an Instagram model and that, and if we know their intent just to go ahead, hey, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and just
They get
show
the
these
bag.
pictures.
It's for the bag.
So what's the difference of this?
Yeah.
Like you said, I can assume the intent if you're showing like, hey, I'm wearing lingerie, look at me, and all these guys are looking at you, and I don't know what the intent is, then like, okay, then that's where I may have an issue. But if I know the intent is just to get to the money, and you're just doing this for that, and I believe that intent, then where do we have the issue?
I would tell them, like, I think
it
that's what
depends on the
Fifi just
person.
said.
That's what we're saying. It depends on the person. Because
Yeah.
I think what
it's
Fifi
for
said, like
everybody.
you said, it's good. I think
It
it's like
ain't
when you
for
tell them,
everybody.
it's okay.
But for me, it's about the lust. It's about, okay, if my man out here and this man work out and he got a bad body and this is my whole husband, I don't want other women looking at his body lusting after him. And then, because it's only gonna be a matter of time for they think they slick and try to slide in these DMs. And then he get too cocky out here, like, dang, I got 1,000 women followers, and
There
I'm
you
out
go.
here.
And
It's only a
there you
matter
go.
of time. So for me, that's what the issue is. It ain't got nothing to do with him not baby, you work for that. Show it off. But you
Yeah.
don't show it off in a swimming suit while we at the pool with something that's intended, not just because you in the basement and you, like Randy said, you in the basement, you doing a whole photo shoot purposely.
You got a whole photo shoot. Everywhere you go, you gotta twerk. Everywhere you gotta do, you gotta twerk. You gotta go there. Something like, man, you
So
doing all this
that's
twerk.
all I'm saying. For
I'm
me,
like, get out of here. I'm like, you know what?
It's for, this is
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I would tell her
Okay.
confidently.
Let's
you
say
got
it like
women,
this. Let's
I
say it
think
like
that's what-
this. Let's put it in this perspective, Mac. Your wife starts working out every day and she get a bad body and she decide I need to make an extra stream income and I can become an influencer on Instagram. And all they say I have to do is sport this 2-piece. I'm gonna become a swimsuit model. Okay, how are you gonna feel about that once men start commenting? Because it ain't about her getting likes. Nobody cares if she got likes, but it's about the comments. Men are gonna start commenting, hey bro, your wife was looking good on that issue, bro.
This
You ain't gonna say your wife.
Look.
I know that.
But this is like I said, this is me being, like I said, in that role. I will be fine with it. As long, like I said, as long as the person that I'm with is faithful to me and they don't fall for any of the temptations, like, all right, hey, this guy make more money. This guy's more attractive. This guy's more famous. I can accept it because I know what it comes with. Like that I'm saying that's just what it is. Like nobody wants to like, especially in that industry, nobody wants somebody that's not attractive. So I mean, it comes with it. Like my wife is beautiful, so I'm gonna assume that the next guy, if they'll see me with her, like, damn, you fine, I want to holler at you. Like that's what it is. So like I said, I definitely agree with y'all points. And like I alluded to earlier, I'm more traditional. Like I said, I want nobody to see my woman, but in reality, like, hell, like if I know the situation, I'm down with it. Like if I was a porn star, like, you gotta know, lady, I'm gonna go out and screw other people, but I pay the mortgage.
See, real right there. He took it to that level.
I said,
you porn star, I ain't marrying you. I definitely ain't marrying you. Ain't no.
But here's where we are though. Like no, and here's the reason I took it there. Like the reason I took it there is that if the person can accept it, and as long as that person is faithful, and I'm not using the porn star because they're obviously not having sex with other people, but if they have trust in their relation, in their marriage or relationship, whatever, and they're strictly doing it for income reasons, then like what's the issue? Like, let's look like
it's not for them. It's not.
Let's look at Cardi B.
You talk about me because I'm gonna have an issue.
But even look at Cardi B. She has a whole husband, and she did the same thing she did way before she even thought about being married. And he's fine, and they can accept it.
Yeah.
So like, if the thing is, as long as she's faithful in her situation, and it's strictly for income and funds, then what do you want me to say?
Yeah,
it ain't no issue.
I can understand that. I
It
think
ain't no
everybody
issue.
got their different points. I think everybody got their different. What we said the word was tolerate. Everybody can take what they tolerate. So it just depends on your toleration threshold. I know mine wouldn't even push the threshold for none of those, especially that I'm like, oh man, you do modeling on Instagram. It'd be cute for a minute, but then I'm like, oh, you talk about relationship? Nah, I'm straight on that. I like holler at me when you start owning the company and you hiring people to model for you because I'm not gonna be all right with everybody. Look, I already got to deal with the fact that guys look anyway.
See, this
you could
this
be in a full gold gown. So
it's because of it goes to where you are in life. I'll just say that's a nice way. It goes to where you at in life. It goes to dating. It goes to relationships. It goes to what do you want to tolerate? What do you want to accept? If I'm at a level where I ain't dealt with trash niggas and cheating niggas and all these niggas, no, I don't want an Instagram nigga. I want a nigga.
You said about 8 niggas.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
No, it was just funny. It was just funny.
I'm just saying. I don't want a man. If I dealt with these type of men before, I don't want to have that same type of man. I'm just saying. So I'm not going to be open to that because I've dealt with that. Not to say all men are the same, but now I'm at a different level or a different place in my life where this is what I'm accepting in. I'm guarded, not closed off, but I'm guarded, and I need to have certain things. So that's all I'm saying. It just depends on where you're at, because some people, they cool with that. That's where they at. I ain't there. So I'm gonna be there. But I know a lot of people are there. So like you said, to agree with you, Mac, yes, a lot of people is cool with that. We get in the bag, that's our goal. We ain't got no problems. That's the end. But I need more than that.
All right. Now let me show off my body. It's like, no.
I had a feeling that was going to be an interesting one because it's one of those difficulties. It's like, hey, if you can tolerate it, go ahead and do it. I'm just, like I said, I think people like a fantasy, and like you said, I agree with both of y'all was saying, like me and Mac had talked about it, and I agree with everything you said. I just think that it's a certain point where it's like self-love is different. I think people got this kind of confused a little bit. They kind of push the envelope. Like, I love the way I look. I'm like, that's ain't nothing wrong with that. But then you got a certain level of being a narcissist, and a certain level of insecurity where you need constant validation. Mm-hmm. That's like a dangerous place where it's like you can't live without a compliment. It's something I think that's where it kind of go into. Like, you need that attention. You always need somebody to give you some type of attention. So that's why I think like you said, I think it show where you at as a person. People talk about I need to make the bag. Man, I feel like it's a whole bunch of incredible black women out here that's making the bag, and they ain't gotta do that. I think that's to a point a cop
like
out
I said, it depends on where you at, because
where you at in life.
Some women making billions of trillions of dollars and they on this pole every night. And they putting themselves through school and they doing all type of stuff.
Yeah, and that was gonna be my point like that. Like, there
that's
you go.
What I'm saying. That if that's your preference, if that's your thing, because see, my thing is with the whole conversation, people have compartments for this stuff. Once you start saying stripper, oh no. But then when you talk about Instagram model, oh, they're classy, they're elegant. Like, see, that's where I have an issue where the divide come from. Because a girl who on the pole every night, she ain't no different than an Instagram chick to me, because they're both using their body to get the bag. Now, when you start talking about strippers, all strippers don't have sex with niggas. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
With people.
Absolutely.
All strippers.
It's so funny when you.
I'm sorry.
It's like you turn to a different person. Like, no, it's fun. I'm
just saying. All of them ain't doing that. All of them ain't going in the back of extra stuff. They literally, this is my time. I'm gonna go on this stage. I'm gonna go be amazing and great and use my strength in my body and put on a performance, and I'm gonna get this check and I'm gonna go home.
Fifi, making sure, just say shake that ass. Don't. No,
well, to be honest, as a dancer, I love to see women do pole dance because it is very athletic. You have to be strong. Y'all need to look up some pole dance competitions. This stuff is not for the easy, okay? For the faint of heart. You got to be strong out here in these streets.
Yeah,
that's a whole other story. My point is, it's about boundaries. It's about privacy. Some people have boundaries, and some people have privacy levels that gauge certain ways. Mm-hmm. And when you don't have boundaries or you don't have privacy levels like that, then everything is open. It ain't no big deal, because my privacy level is, as long as I go home with who I go home with, that's all that matters. That's how some people are. But some people like me, I'm like, you only gonna see what you can imagine in your brain through these full body dress clothing that I got on. That's me. But that's not
to mention this too. Let's say if you are a personal trainer
And that's
Nobody
what I
wants
was
to,
gauging.
you know, what if somebody, I mean,
That's
personal
why I said
trainer,
the
I
men
know
too,
hire a
because the
personal
men,
trainer
that's how
that
the
ain't
men be
insane.
getting it. The men be getting out here because they be like, I'm a personal trainer. Look at
Yeah,
this.
I'm
And the
like,
girls
I'm
be
just saying,
like,
men and
that's
women, like
training.
nobody want a personal trainer that don't look like they don't personal train.
That part. That
So
part.
You like
I mean,
butterbean.
what if you? I mean, it's a lot of things. If you it's a lot of things that go into. I mean, what if you are just look? I am a, you know, it's just like I said, a lot of stuff going to the flow. But I think, like you said, the biggest thing is just boundaries. Like, look, I'm on here. You see this picture, like you can have a woman in a full-grown, beautiful gown, and she's still gonna get 100 million likes and looks.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is what it is. Or a man in a well-dressed suit. Those are different things throughout the day. But if you always got to be halfway to the point naked and you really not, I mean, I guess like you said, it's the boundaries. Boundaries. What you about to say, Mac?
No, nothing. No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, other than that, that's cool. I appreciate y'all. Tonight. Again, so happy to have Fifi back. We love you so much, man. We thank you for glad everything is okay with you and everything else. For everybody else, man, like I said, next week, remember, we're not going to do it Wednesday next week. We're going to do it Thursday. It'll be Thursday, 7:30. I mean, 7:45. That's when we're going to be coming next week. It'll be our last show before the end of the year. So, you know, first of all, before I'm going to let my wonderful co-host say anything they got to say last before I go ahead and get us out of here and wish y'all some happy holidays.
Well,
Welcome
I just want to say it's good to be back. Good to ruffle these feathers. Good to have these good conversations and bring out these good thoughts. You know, we got to think about stuff a little bit more. And I love that we come on here and that's what we do.
Fifi, welcome back. Thank you so much for, you know, everything you put forth today. Saying to you, Mr. Host Randy Johnson, this is your boy, Mr. Reese. Continue to share, like, and subscribe. And by next year, I'm going to have something great to show y'all. You know, I've been working on it. My wife been helping me work on it. And I'm happy to share it with the world. So stay tuned for that.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then, again, just for everybody, you got Christmas coming up. And I know it's different for everybody. And keep in mind, like we've been talking so much about this time of year, really should be big into family and things. And, you know, we're not even going to front around like we don't know that it is one of the hardest times that this country, that people in people's lives has been in a very long time. It's already one of the sometimes the most loneliest and depressing times of year. And like we said, do more than just check up on people. Go see them. Go say some kind words to them. Spend time with them for a minute. Let them know that you not only that you're thinking about them, but you appreciate them and that you love them. Because this is what this year and this holiday season is really supposed to be about. It's about being around the people you care about the most and being so grateful and appreciative for everything that's been going on for you, because everything don't have to be perfect, but you can be perfect with everything. Merry Christmas, and we will see you next week. Remember, Thursday, 7:45 next week. We'll bring the show to you, but enjoy your family, enjoy those kids, forget the presents. The presents is already there. If you got a wonderful set of family and a bunch of people that just don't tolerate you but celebrate you, you got everything in the world right there. So God bless. Y'all have a great holiday. Enjoy yourselves, and we will see you next week for our last show of the new year, episode 8 of Unfiltered. Love y'all.